Peace, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel, our channel, or whatever. So this is me solely, and today I have my beautiful friend JAH. And me and him, we will ultimately, be building upon the subject of the need for a new system in a sense. Just the fact that consciousness is evolving, yet we are still staying in the same old system. But it's like Babylon, as we call it, is destined to fall. Like it's uneffortable that the system is to fall, and truly we really do need to reconnect to the planet's consciousness, for our consciousness to also ascend, if you guys get what I'm saying. Yes, welcome, brother.
Peace, reflection. Peace to the gods walking the earth, man. You know what it is. Yeah, man. When you connect to nature in like the right way, because everything is nature. But there's different parts of nature that are beneficial, that are actually more beneficial for the growth of the body of the earth that we are living in, than other parts, like people that are not conscious of this, of even thinking about what we're talking about on this video.
Exactly.
So we need to just connect. When we connect to that part of nature, then everything will be unraveled. Everything to be unraveled. Everything will be unraveled. Everything we need to do to recreate, or start a system of living in tune for the growth and betterment of the all.
Exactly. It's like this planet in of itself is a sentient being. We are just nothing but cells in this planet, this organism, you feel me? So it's like, in order for Mother Gaia to ascend harmoniously, we ourselves also have to get in tune, and it's like, if we don't get in tune, then in a sense it's still gonna, the ascension is still gonna happen. But just as in our physical body we have these things we call the immune systems that will kick out the viruses, or like the cancer cells out of the body, so too will something like this happen in the earth. So ultimately what I'm getting at is, we either get in tune harmoniously, or something, or force, well, in a sense, make us do it, if you get what I'm saying. Or what do you think?
My take on it is, the earth has already been killing off the disease. It's already been killing off the disease. That's why the disease, the people that think cancerous, are pushing and fighting to stay alive. That's why people are being kidnapped. That's why melanated beings are being kidnapped. That's why they spray the sky every day with chemtrails.
Yeah.
That's why we have inorganic food all around us. That's why we have plumbing systems that's messed up, where we can't even, use our natural body for what it's for. You see what I'm saying? It's so many things.
Yeah.
It's so many things. So they have set it up in a way so they can try to do their best to survive, but they even know that they're basically just enjoying their time while they have.
Yeah, because they know that their time is coming to an end.
The earth is not going. Yeah, the earth is not going. So like when you said about us becoming conscious of the fact that we're cells in the body, and how the ascension is going to happen anyway. See how it is the ascension. Yes, you're correct. The ascension is going to happen anyway. But see, the whole point of us becoming conscious of this of the ascension, we got to first see that the body of the earth, the body of the earth itself is becoming conscious. So it's going to manifest beings within its body that are as conscious as it can be. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because God, we make up the body of God. So since we make up the body of God, God made us to make up its own body. So we are literally necessary. We are necessary for the ascension of the earth. You see what I'm saying? We are necessary body. So it's for us to put out the message and wake up the other parts of the earth that are being stemmed from, mitosis to our cellular, our cellular splitting, us having sex or whatever, our sacred energy exchanges. And it's for us to put out that information. Like for instance, I was talking to my wife one day, and I was like, they how the public school system is set up, these European schools, or these cancer schools, where you have to take your children to them, drop them off, you know, yada yada yada. And I thought about it, and I automatically thought, like, something came to me, like a thought. I know it's myself, but I know it's myself now. But when it came to me, I was like, like, teachers shouldn't be inside of buildings. Teachers should never be in buildings. Teachers should actually be walking around asking people what they want to know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
when it comes to the new system of living, when it comes to the new system, it's going to be totally different from what we're experiencing right now. Totally.
Facts.
We don't see people walking around. We don't see people walking around like, okay, they started it a little bit in like Harlem, New York, where they got, you know, like Sarnetter in them. Like, they walk around, they spit knowledge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you don't have people on a consistent basis that's trained in specific skills and specific intellectual information and specific knowledge that they've applied, you know, say, to their life over time, and can actually prove to you that they are mastering it, walking around every single day, just asking people if they need help.
Exactly.
See what I mean? People that we go to colleges, we go to all these colleges for anywhere from 2 to 10 years or more, and get these so-called degrees. But that's 360 degrees in a circle. So that's only one degree, or you only getting two or three degrees of knowledge.
Oh.
and you're still not even applying that by actually going out and see how you can work with people face to face to help them. Then it doesn't matter.
Facts. Exactly.
So this ascension that we're talking about is going to have to start with, like, the basic, you know what I'm saying? People have to realize, like I was just telling you before we started the video, people have to realize that the basic parts of, like, the basic infrastructure of how reality actually works is what we need to focus on in order for us to unravel those complex parts of the expression of those basic principles that make a reality and keep the harmony within the body, within human civilization.
Yeah, because, you know, it's like, it's the foundation of the building that determines its structure, and if it always starts with the foundation, you know. So we really do need to understand the basics before we can truly evolve into these higher concepts. If you don't have a strong foundation, then in a sense you're just building a house of cards, we can say, and it can collapse any moment, you know, any second. So you're right, we really do need to understand the foundation, the basics, before we can truly evolve and go and, you know, look at higher concepts and things of that nature.
That's a fact. Now, when it comes to technology, technology is like, dude, like, that's like one of the first things. I'm not trying to, like, get off subject, but, like, that's one of the first things, like, I became conscious of when I was, you know, after I portaled into this existence, after I, like, became conscious of me being here. Technology was, like, one of the main things on my list. I was like, I wanted to make time machines, make freaking, you know what I'm saying, vehicles, you know what I'm saying, futuristic things.
Yeah.
And I haven't found a way to do that until, I didn't find a way to actually do it until I actually started focusing on how. You see, like, when I was younger, all of this fantasy was in front of me, all these different cartoons and TV shows and stuff like that, and movies. But I never actually focused on how to do it, because, you know, everyone thinks that these movies that we watch are fake. You know what I mean?
No.
But when you know reality, any thought that you can think of, any thought that you can imagine or think of is a possibility.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, and it's like energy is never created, you know, it's only transmuted. Well, what I'm getting at is, you know, there's really nothing new under the sun. So all of these concepts that we see around us, they're ultimately being picked up from somewhere. Like, this energy or this thought of, you know, creating the Avatar movie, or like the Airbenders, or like, you know, any form of movie is ultimately some means of a person tapping into some certain consciousness stream that allowed them to perceive this, you know. So ultimately what I'm getting at is that there's really nothing there's really nothing new that we humans created. We're ultimately just expressing energies that we've picked up in our own means. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Or should I elaborate?
Yes, I understand. I don't know. I understand what you're saying, because the possibilities, any possibility that you can think of, there's actually a reality.
Exactly, yeah.
You're seeing a reality specifically filtered into your mind's eye through your astrological energy. It's specifically filtered into your mind's eye through your astrological energy, your perception of how you can see that thing. But you're actually, when you think of something or you imagine something, you're actually connecting with the whole reality that actually exists.
Exactly, yeah.
Because
Like,
past, present, and future is all cyclical.
yeah,
Past,
that's what I
present, and
was just
future is
gonna
all
say.
cyclical, so it's all happening at one time.
Yeah, like,
Facts.
yeah, like time.
Telepathy,
I
brother.
was just gonna say that, bro. Like time, it's not linear as we've been made to believe. Time is vertical. Everything is happening simultaneously. You know, like you can actually tap into your future self and see how you're doing, or you can actually go back to your past self and offer healing. You know, like this has happened to me. Believe it or not, like I've had experiences where my previous other selves came to me, you know, and in a sense they performed healing on me. But it's a real thing, you know, like you can really go back into the past and heal your younger self. Maybe let your younger self know that this will not stay, it shall pass. You know, like we really have that ability, as time is not linear but vertical. Everything has already happened.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But when it comes to like us building this new system for the world, we have to we got to analyze, like, in what ways. Okay, the easiest way we can do this, and I'm getting this, I'm channeling this from my higher self right now.
Right, yeah.
The easiest way we can do this is actually looking at what's going on in the world right now and see how we can do it differently. See how can we do it? How can we do it connected with the natural flow of how nature works, the natural flow of energy of how everything transforms in nature, everything that's beneficial for the body of the earth. How can we take building, like you talked about an infrastructure of a building, right?
Yeah.
How can we take the way buildings are made now and remake them in such a way to where they are more stable, they are more conducive for nature? They don't get in the way of animal life, plant life. They don't get in the way of animal or plant life. You see, like respecting nature, like the laws of MASHIAC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like thinking of how these things. Like, okay, I was watching the video yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday or the day before. I was watching a video from Phi. Gagu. He teaches Gagu. Gagu. I was watching the video from Phi, and he was talking about how the nuclear bomb, how the nuclear bomb was made, and it was made from separating the atom. But the original people on this planet, they had formulas to where it wasn't nuclear fission. Nuclear fission is when you separate the atoms, and then the power from them trying to get back together is what creates the explosion. And he was talking about how all of the cars, engines, and everything, almost everything here just is made off explosions. But he was also saying that in Africa, or in the original people's land, and the indigenous people's land, people have formulas to where it's nuclear fusion, not nuclear fission. Is where the atoms come together and keep renewing themselves, and there's no explosion. It's clean, renewable energy. So that's what I'm saying when it comes to things that happen. If anything that happens in this realm, anything that happens when it comes to building any type of technology or building a system, there's always another way to do it. Just like anything you do, like you can use any tool you can use it for good or you can use it for bad. You can use it for one way or use it for another way. There's a law of polarity. Any energy that exists has an equal and opposite energy. So there are no true opposites, but at the same time, there's always a more beneficial way to do something when it comes to our perspective as in living in harmony in a subjective experience with the earth.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure. I think it's the fifth principle of the seven hermetic principles. The principle of polarity, which states that all polar opposites are but one and the same thing. That you can find, the truth and a lie, or like the lie and the truth. And that kind of brings me to like, like negative and positive, those two polarities, and how a lot of people tend to strive to left or right. A lot of people feel like they have to be light and they have to ignore the dark, the darkness. But in actuality, I like to say that we need both. We need both the darkness and the light. So let me elaborate or explain why that is. Because it's like, it's the darkness that absorbs light. It's our ability to have a little bit of darkness within us that allows us to absorb this light. So it's like, how is it that we are going to be able to absorb this light if we don't have no darkness? But on top of that, it's like, it's thanks to the void that the universe or the source can continue to expand life, because it's, as the light expands, it is expanding into the void, the darkness, the nothingness. So had it not been for the darkness, life in a sense would not be possible. But a lot of people tend to get that twisted. Like, whenever people talk about balance, I talk about good and bad, or like the darkness and light, and I'm like, that's balance. But a lot of people, they're in a sense, we can say, ignorant to that, or they don't really want to look at it that way. They're like, nah, way too right brain, or et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Not only does the darkness or the melanin absorb light, it actually utilizes the light that it absorbs and directs that light through all the different places through the light electromagnetic spectrum that it needs to be within the body. So just like our sun, people think the sun is just light, right? No, the sun is emitting light. The sun is black. The sun is invisible. There's no color to the sun, but it's emitting white light. That sun is absorbing. The sun is actually a portal that's absorbing energy from other star systems, and then filtering that energy out into pure white light, and then white light is communicating with its own self and creates different prisms. And that's what makes our atmosphere. And when the light hits our atmosphere, that's why we think the sky is blue, and like everything here has its own colors, because it creates its own. The way it communicates with itself, it creates the electromagnetic fields. The ionosphere. The different spheres around the Earth. So when it comes to the darkness and stuff like that, like they're literally one and the same thing. Light is what people call. Light is what people usually call what we see as visible light. But the invisible light is what people call darkness. And I have a good analogy for this. It's just like, I was looking at a light bulb one day, right? And it's dark in the room. But when you cut on the light switch or whatever power source that goes to that light bulb, there's a coil in it, and that electricity from the switch goes into that coil and vibrates that coil to a point where it transforms the energy around the coil. It transforms the darkness into light. It transforms the atoms around, it transforms the chemical compounds around that coil through electromagnetism into photons.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I agree.
So it's the same energy. It's the same exact energy. It's just transformed to another form.
Yeah.
So darkness and light, the whole electromagnetic spectrum is what people call darkness and light, but it's all really light.
Yeah.
Even the darkness. And you can connect that to so many things, bro, because like your imagination, how you can close your eyes and you close your eyes in the darkness, but as soon as you close your eyes, you have all of these different colors just swinging around everywhere, waiting for you to construct an image.
Exactly, yeah.
When you construct an image, then it pulls. Man, it's so deep. I don't want to go too deep, bro. Exactly. How long is this video gonna be, man?
Around an hour, bro. But I was gonna say exactly, it's like, you really gotta think, like, what is the true lamp that is illuminating this external reality, or just life in general, if we don't need the sun in a sense to perceive light? Like, well, what I'm ultimately getting at, let me not complicate it, because it's ultimately, let's talk about the pineal gland, or the third eye. The third eye is also called the lamp of the soul. They say that it is thanks to the third eye that it's the third eye that's illuminating our external reality. It's thanks to the third eye we're not, it's thanks to the third eye that we can perceive this external reality. And in fact, it's not, we don't really perceive with these eyes. These are just simply receptors of light, but truly it is the pineal gland in a sense that is projecting to us our external reality due or through our natal chart, like you said, you know.
Facts.
But yeah, but bro, I was also gonna say, I was gonna add on what you said earlier about the sun, you know, like that's facts, you know, like the sun, it is a portal, you know, like we look up and we think that the sun is a ball and we think that it's emitting energy, but in actuality, this is like in a sense a portal, like a vortex, you know. And I also want to mention this. It is said that, well, for one, everything is electromagnetic, you know, and the sun is also electromagnetic, but it's more electro than magnetic, I want to say, because you know it's emitting energy in a sense. And it is said that when we come into this reality, we portal in through the sun, so our soul portals into the sun. And it's said that when we leave, then we go through the moon, as the moon is magnetic, you know, it's pulling in. But yes, it is also said that it's the moon that's like the spaceship. It's the moon that is like our spaceship, and the moon holds all of our past life experiences. And it's said that the moon is the Merkaba, you know. And astrologically speaking, the moon is our emotions. It is the irrational mind. And it's like it is in our emotions where memory is stored, you know. Like our emotions, they hold more memories than the logical mind, I want to say, because I feel like one emotion can tell so many stories, you know. It's crazy.
Yeah, like you said, man. Like you said, it's all about that balance. You have to balance. You have to have that. You have to have the bond between your logical and your irrational mind.
Mm-hmm.
You have to create a balance. I mean, that's basically the purpose of any astrological energy, of any chart. No matter how many debilitations you have, no matter what anything, you have energies that need to be balanced. That's the whole point of astrology, is that all these different energies coming into your body, so figure out in what way they can be balanced through this perception.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, facts.
So when it comes to like, you know, like masculine and feminine energy, when it comes to, you know, the Hermetic principles, you know, we got to balance masculine and feminine energy. When it comes to the law of polarity, you know, you got to just know that these energies, these extremes are actually one thing.
Yeah.
See what I mean? You know, the first law is plain and simple. All is mental.
That technically tells you everything you need to know. To a degree.
Yeah, but you know, people miss, you know, Aries, especially people like, you know, they got a sun Aries or something like, you know, something like me, or got a lot of fire energy. They're gonna miss some details.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's crazy that I have a Libra Jupiter in the 10th house, bro.
Libra, Jupiter in the 10th house.
Bro, I researched what that was. I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh myself. It basically means that, you know, and I also have a Virgo midheaven, and so that basically means that, like, the people, I'm like, what we're doing right now is destined. Like, what we're doing right now is automatically, like, it's supposed to happen. What we're doing right now is we're building. We're not actually, see, what we're really doing objectively, subjectively, we're building something. Objectively, all we're doing is connecting with the reality where it already exists. And with my Libra Jupiter in the 10th house, it basically means that any philosophy, any type of logical thing or emotional thing, I can take it, and if I do it correctly, I can expand it. I can make it more. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm glad you hit me up, man, because we're creating a new system. What's up, baby? Okay.
All right.
Okay, yeah, and so with the Libra Jupiter in my 10th house and my Virgo midheaven, it's basically my Libra Jupiter is basically edify, expand, edify, expand. I'm looking for a certain word. It's a word that I'm looking for. Evolve. I can evolve. I have the potential to be able to evolve any philosophy. But see, when my Virgo midheaven is telling me that I need to focus more, and to do that, in order to do that, I need to become more organized. How I think, how I feel, and everything that I do.
Yeah, more organized and all of
Basically,
that, but also, you know, find a way, a practical means to, in a sense, ground it down to reality, because that Virgo earthly energy is all about practicalizing things, you know, taking things down to reality and everything, you know. And it's like Jupiter, it's the planet of, it is the teacher within you. It's how you teach, it's how you preach, you know. So you got it, you know. It's all about how you preach and how you teach. And I feel like with Jupiter being in the 10th house, bro, it's also stating that, in a sense, you were gifted to a degree. Like, I want to say, like, you have that ability to be a teacher, like, as a profession or a career, we can kind of say, because that's what the 10th house rules and everything, you know. But it's like also that Virgo energy. The Virgo energy, it's also about studying, because Virgo is from Mercury, you know. Virgo is very mercurious in its nature, so it is all about studying and acquiring information, in the sense, practicalizing it. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. And it's like Jupiter, in a sense, is in the 10th house. So yeah. Oh, did he freeze?
Okay, man. I appreciate this, man, dude. Like, we're just jumping everywhere, but it all connects. And I
Hey
hope
man,
when
it's a
people see this
build.
video, man, they
It's a
can
build,
actually get it.
man. That's what we do. We're building something.
That's a fact. But yeah, okay. Like, another thing is the fact, like the part I was talking about, like, in order, like, when it comes to, like, the system, like creating a new system and a way of living, we can set it up in a way, in such a way where teachers, you know what I mean, people, doctors, you know, health, you know what I'm saying, health health professionals, and, you know, and etc., can all to walk around, you know, without a worry, and, you know, be able to teach anyone that wishes to learn exactly what they know. And then when it comes to technology, I think that we should utilize more of the nuclear fusion rather than the nuclear fission, like which is basically the system that we're in right now, like the Babylonian fission. You know, we should focus more on nuclear fusion, and you know, seeing how, like, to renew themselves. This is what we should be studying as a collective. You know what I mean? As a collective.
Yeah. I feel you, bro. And it's like, I don't know if you've studied Nikola Tesla's work, but, you know, he was tapping into free energy, and just he was talking about how the Earth's magnetic field and things of this nature is producing, well, the Earth's atmosphere, I forgot the name of it, honestly, the word is not coming to me, but there's ultimately this immense free energy that we have the ability to tap into, you know. And, you know, it's funny, they talk about how Nikola Tesla was so close to in a sense exposing this, and then he ended up having a mysterious death, you know. But in actuality, it's like how every other person who was about to, in a sense, expose the system or things of that nature, you know, like Dr. Sebi and people like this, they always have a mysterious death. But it's like, who do you think is behind that death, you know? Because they know, like you said, they know that their time is coming to an end. So the extremes are high at this moment, you know, the polarities are high, the extremes are high, because in a sense, it's like the law of rhythm, you know, which states that all things have a rhythm, everything has an up and down. And I feel like the fact that we are about to plunge into an age of ultimate awakening or awareness, therefore the polarity must first go to deception. You know, a lot of people talk about how in this moment, even though it might seem like we are in the day of information or the age of information, and all this information is coming to us, to a degree there's still like this energy of deception, you know. And I really feel like that to a degree that's like the sixth law of rhythm. I'm not sure which law it is, but you know, it's the law of rhythm manifesting, which states that all poles have, I mean, everything has a rhythm to it, you know. Everything in a sense goes left and right. Like, in order for something to be good, it first must experience the bad, the negative, you know. That's what people also need to understand. But bro, well, I guess you can add something to that if you like or wish. Because as a Gemini, I can keep talking, you know.
Yeah, there's also within the within that law of rhythm, though, there's a law of neutralization.
Yes, the center point.
where you can jump over a rhythm or a swing. Basically, when the pendulum comes, you can jump on another part of the law. You know, and that's basically what we're doing. You know what I mean? Most people are just moving with the ups and downs, moving with the ups and downs. We're constantly focused on a growth. You know what I mean? Constantly focused on expanding consciousness. So when we go through a so-called up and down, or when we foresee a down coming, we can automatically jump over it.
Neutralize, yeah.
You know what I mean? By understanding the situation. And so when it comes to these cancer cells, and you know, people putting out the information and doing their best to expose them, it's all about doing it the right way. You see, but when the people that you see, you know, everything is fractal. We're living in a fractal simulation of reciprocity. You know what I mean? So what's going on is the people that's putting out the information and exposing the cancer cells, the way they do it is what gets them. The way they do it is what gets them transcended. You know what I mean? The way they do it is what gives them their mysterious death. See what I mean? The way that they do it, because everything is self. But I bet money on it. And I mean, when I say money, I mean my energy, my cosmic currency.
Right. Yeah.
I bet that the people that were conscious of of certain things and tried to expose the government, I bet that they weren't conscious of the fact that everything was them.
True. Yeah. Exactly, bro. You know, it's funny you say that. Well, it's not funny. Nothing's really funny. This is a serious talk, no. But yeah, bro. Like, I made this video earlier, you know, and I was just talking about how we really need to realize that we really need to realize unity. You know, we really need to realize that within every being, within every atom, God lies. You know, and once we realize this, we have, in a sense, gone to the heart center, and you know, or the heart chakra, where the heart chakra, you know, it perceives unity. It doesn't really see, because the thing about the heart chakra is it's the center point. Yeah, it's exactly.
Heart chakra is balance.
It's balance. It's the center point. It's where the higher and the lower chakras meet. It's at the heart chakra. So when you are a heart chakra centered person, you don't see the false ego that people project onto you, because you have that ability, in a sense, to see their true self, or like the God within them. You know, you can still, in a sense, I guess it's about compassion or something of this nature. Compassion is also very important, you know, and everything really starts within, just as the law of correspondence states, you know, like, you can't be loved unless you love yourself.
Facts. That's a fact. It's also about authenticity too. But at the same time, you have to balance. At the same time, you have to balance your authenticity with your self-expression.
But isn't pure authenticity? I was gonna say, isn't pure authenticity pure expression? Like, for instance, Aries, they tend to be very authentic. They're real. They keep it as it is. They're very raw, you know, and that seems to us as true self-expression, you know, because the Aries, you guys rule the first house, which is like the house of personality. It's all about self-expression. It's ego. to a degree, but ego is just simply one's
That's a fact.
energy being expressed. You feel me? But yeah, because you know, there's like the
That's
small
a fact.
ego. There's the small ego, then there's the big ego. There's the false ego, then there's the true ego. Like we actually need ego, but a lot of people don't realize this. They don't see the separation. You know, so they talk about kill the ego, but
That's a fact. That's a big fact, bro. I like now, like I become conscious of it, and now when I see people do that, I'm like, bro, you can't kill your ego, bro. You can only transform it, bro.
exactly,
You can only
bro.
transform your ego, bro. Your ego is your sense of self. If you look up the word ego, it literally says sense of self, like your level of self-esteem. Like that's what your ego is, like.
Facts.
But I get what you're saying about, you know, the purest expression is like being, you know, just expressing everything that you know that you are.
Authenticity.
But at the same time, we got the intellectual signs too, you know, because Aries is a sign about pure self-expression, but at the same time, through it has its downfalls. If it's expressing itself, impulsively. See what I mean? It might miss some details and make the wrong. It might miss some details and make the wrong decision.
Yeah, bro. Check
You
this
see what I'm
out.
saying?
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, you have the other signs. Facts.
Oh, my bad. I mean, of course I wanted you to finish, but I was just gonna add this one detail about Aries. You know, I also study esoteric astrology, not in depth yet, but it's also something I've looked upon. You know, and like esoteric astrology is ultimately the evolution aspect of astrology. You know, and in esoteric astrology we focus more on the evolution of the signs. You know, so in esoteric astrology, and assigns like planet and everything changes, you know, like for instance, me as a Gemini, my traditional ruler is Mercury, but my I guess evolved ruler is Venus, because once a Gemini ascends and they realize that their words are powerful, they stop using their words to speak, but they start using it in a sense to spread love, you know. But for you, I wanted to add this because it's like your traditional ruler is Mars, you know. The Mars corresponds with like the war energy. It's all about the warrior. It's all about, in a sense, getting things done, action, and things of that nature. But once you evolve, your chart ruler becomes Mercury, because then once you evolve, you realize that you shouldn't act upon your instinct, you know, like that it's okay to, in a sense, sit back and observe and to be intellectual in a sense. And it's like, yeah, I just wanted to add that, bro, like just to let you know that like your higher ruler in a sense is Mercury, you know, which is pretty dope. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that, but yeah.
I'm grateful, bro.
Yeah, of course, I got you, bro.
You just gave me a key, bro.
Hey,
Just gave me a keyblade for my war in the Kingdom of Hearts.
Yeah. Hey, that was a dope game. I think we're talking about, I don't know.
Yeah, you just enlightened me, bro. Appreciate that.
Of course, bro. Of course, that's what we do, you know.
No, everything connects. Everything connects. That's what I like about this. That's what I like about reality. Everything connects in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But yeah, when it comes to you know, like coming up with different, basically inventions, what we deem as inventions. I mean, what I would do, I mean, I really don't want to say it directly, but I would just keep it to myself for a while. You know what I mean? After seeing everything that's happened to all these different people, you know what I'm saying, that just came out, and then them mysteriously dying, that's just a fear tactic for the cancer cells. You know what I mean? That's a cancer cell fear tactic.
Exactly, bro.
You know what I mean? They like, okay, y'all want to come up, y'all want to expand y'all consciousness, y'all want to grow and better. Okay, this is gonna happen if you grow and better. But they're only giving, but they're only giving a specific possibility. You see what I'm saying? They're only giving specific possibilities. It's up to us to expand our consciousness to be able to view all of the other possibilities and choose which ones will benefit us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy, bro, because a lot of people are stuck in these possibilities that were given to them. You know, for instance, this system that we live in. A lot of people don't understand that this isn't, it's the system, the way it's built, it goes against our nature, our human nature, you know. But a lot of people don't realize this, so they think that it is their nature to go to school, to get a 9 to 5, to drain their energy and things of this nature, you know. So you're right, it's really all about expanding, and it's really all about seeing all of these possibilities, you know, because it's like they say that the truth will set you free, and this is so true, because what the truth does is it expands your view of life, you know. And damn, that shit is so real.
Man, bro, like I get the chills, man, when I think about it. Like how deep but so simple reality is.
Yeah, you know,
Like I
they
was just
say.
talking to my biological brother, man. I was just talking to him about how simple life is.
Hmm.
All you do is focus on, like I said, focus on how you can focus on connecting to nature, how you can preserve nature and honor nature, and that's it. Everything else gonna come.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So I've been doing this series where I've been talking about, you know, multi-dimensional beings, because a lot of us, you know, we are in a sense limited to this 3D reality, but in actuality, there are multi-dimensional beings out there, you know, like beings from the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. To be honest, the crazy thing about it, even, bro, is it's like when you dive deep into this shit, you start to realize that we are living in a local universe. So what does this mean? It means this is a local universe, and that there are multiple universes out there, bro. Like this shit is insane. But
That's a fact.
yeah,
That's a fact. Just like how it's so many different possibilities. Within each of those possibilities are beings living within them. That's like
yeah.
that are expressing their consciousness. That's a
Hmm.
fact, bro. That's a fact.
Exactly.
It's just so it's like okay, first like the basis of reality is what conceptualized as nothingness, right?
Hmm.
Then out of that nothingness, you know, wanting to be something creates a fulfilled intent of being everything. So in order to be okay, basically everything is in superposition. This quantum physics right here. This quantum mechanics. I mean quantum mechanics specifically. Um, everything that we see is really in superposition. It's all there. It's all happening. And anything that we imagine, because your brain doesn't differentiate what's happening in your head and what's happening, you know, with your retinas.
Hmm.
See what I'm saying? With your eyes,
Facts, bro.
it doesn't differentiate what's happening with your five senses and what's going on in your head.
But
So
that's some powerful
everything
ass
is really in
information.
superposition. This is a possibility. This is a possibility that you're experiencing. See, when something is in superposition, when a particle is in superposition, it's in wave form. Wave form meaning it's in all possible possibilities that it could be, and nowhere, and nothing at the same time. So when it comes to like the basis of existence, then we know that our consciousness, that's how our consciousness works. When it comes to multidimensional consciousness, this is how our consciousness works. Our consciousness can be, because there's really no beginning or end, and that's something hard for most people to conceptualize. There's no beginning or end. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another. So there is no beginning, there is no end. We can consciously be in a concept of nothingness, and also be in a concept of experiencing any possibility of everything that can exist at the same time. And that's basically why we became conscious in this form as human beings, so that we can be trees, because trees are basically like the sensors of the earth. They're basically like the information, they take in the information from everything, and they take it from the soil and out into the, they basically bring the lower to the higher. They help everything meet, the trees. They bring the balance, like we were talking about earlier. The trees are the original humans. You know what I'm saying? Like they brought balance. You know what I'm saying? They bring balance. They still bring balance to this day. You can see it when you go to a city. Like it's crazier in cities without trees, where it's just buildings. It's just buildings and buildings and buildings, and it's just factories and plants. And it's funny because they call them plants, but all they're doing is emitting CO2 emissions. you know what I'm saying, and carbon monoxide emissions. And they're messing up, you know what I'm saying, the environment. And they take all the trees out of the environment, which trees give us, as you know, trees give us oxygen. So we can breathe and have a stable mind, have a stable brain function. You know what I mean? So we are actually the evolved form of that. You know what I mean? We're the evolved form. We're literally walking possibilities here to bring balance. Here to take from the lower self, here to portal through our lower selves and transform into our higher selves and consciousness, but bring our consciousness in between to balance it out. That way we can connect with our lower self and our higher self and keep balance on this plane of existence. So when it comes to multidimensional consciousness, you can clearly, I mean, like I said, man, everything is simple. You can clearly see that your consciousness is literally coming from nothingness. It's an illusion.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, so when it comes to multidimensional consciousness, like I said, everything is simple when you actually look at it from this perspective. Like, your consciousness is literally, the basis of your consciousness is literally nothingness, but wanting to experiencing something. So it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter what it's experiencing. It doesn't matter, as long as it's experiencing something. But you see, within that experience, there must be a purpose. Because before there's something, there is no purpose, because you're nothing. So the whole experience itself is basically making purpose. You're making your consciousness is literally creating a purpose, and that purpose itself, the purpose of that consciousness itself is to experience something, and then within that experiencing something, you create purposes for experiencing that something. So it's like keep getting deeper and deeper, and it's like your consciousness is literally a fractal prism, just like everything in nature. If you study the Fibonacci sequence, you can see that everything in nature is fractal. If you look down, smaller, 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 no matter how small you go, just like the law of correspondence says, as above, so below, as within, so without. So no matter how small you go, no matter what type of microscope you make to look smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, you're gonna always see something. And no matter whether you make a telescope that can see bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, you're gonna always see something.
Yeah. Facts.
But the purpose of it though is determined by you. You see what I'm saying? The purpose of it is determined by actually analyzing it. Why it's there and how it relates to your consciousness, relate to your specific consciousness that you have now. So within multidimensional consciousness, we can clearly see that there are plenty of beings. There are multidimensional beings, like tree. In fact, let me explain it before I end. Trees, anything on this plane, like bugs, trees, animals, plant, like any kind of plant life, any kind of biological life that's expressed here that doesn't look like us, there is a form of that within the cosmos in like a humanoid form. There's a sentient form of. We can't see from the perception of a spider. We can't see from the perception of a dog. We can't see from the perception of a tree. But we can perceive from the perception of the sentient version of it. Which means basically when we see anything that we see that's moving around all about, that's moving, it thinks it's in a realm like this. It thinks it's doing what we're doing. You see what I'm saying? It thinks it has natural instincts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's doing exactly what we're doing, but I'm saying when it comes to consciousness, it's thinking. You see what I'm saying? It's using this environment to, do what it needs to do.
Facts.
According to the type of consciousness that it has. So when it comes to multidimensional consciousness and, aliens or whatever, what people call aliens, that's yourself. Everything is self.
Facts.
So there's a version of that you can connect with. And when you connect to that tree, when you go outside and you connect to a tree and you visualize connecting to that tree, you're going to get a visualization of a human talking to you, or a humanoid version of that tree
Bro,
talking to you.
bro, that is
Or
so
either that,
true,
or
bro.
you're going to get, like, depending on your astrological
Yeah.
energy, you might just get like a movie played of like different colors and pictures, and all those different colors and pictures and symbols will be a signal of communication. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just
yeah.
depends on your astrological energy and how you actually want to see it and it happens. And that goes for anything. I made a video, bro. You need to check out my channel, bro. I made a couple videos about multidimensional consciousness.
You did. Dope.
Facts.
It's a real thing, bro. And we really need to expand our minds to these thinkings as well. Because these multidimensional beings, what you need to understand is we ourselves are multidimensional beings. You know, like we have other aspects of us existing in those other dimensions. Like, for instance, at the 11th dimension and all of these other realms, you know, when you connect with these dimensions, they in a sense become your guides or your support system, because to a degree they are you. Like JAH just said, these are just simply reflections of us, you know, and that's a fact, bro. That's a big fact. Yes.
So yeah, all I want to say, man, is, hey, to the people that's watching this video, man, y'all, make sure you listen to every single thing we're talking about and research. You don't have to believe us. Believe in
Right, fact.
yourself.
Yeah.
Go research every single thing that we're talking about, and these concepts and these ways of thinking will actually help us to build a new system of living, or what we can perceive as a new system and a new way of living on this planet, in tune with the cosmos, in tune with nature, and in our true purest forms of ourselves and who we truly are.
Yeah, you know, there was a beautiful saying I love and follow. Well, not I just love, you know. So it goes like, the earth around us is not going to change. What is going to change is our consciousness, our perception of it. And that's how we are to bring the change, you know. So don't go about changing, don't go around trying to change something external of you, because true change begins from within, you know. And you're truly not doing anything if you're trying to change your external reality, because your external reality is simply a reflection of your internal reality. But yes, before we go, bro, is there any place that we can find you? Like, shout yourself
Oh,
out,
you
you
mean
know?
like online?
Yeah, like your YouTube.
You mean online?
Yeah, like your YouTube, your Facebook, or whatever.
Okay, well, you know, my YouTube is Light Lords Assemble with an exclamation mark. You
Yeah,
type in Light Lords, LIGHT, LORDS, Assemble, ASSEMBLE with an exclamation mark. It's Light Lords Assemble because, you know, I'm sending in the light from our lower bodies. And
yeah,
then then I have a Twitter. You know, once you go on my YouTube, all of my links are there. All of my
yeah,
links
for
are there.
sure, for sure.
All of my links
So,
are there. My Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, all of it is there. I'm
yeah,
gonna have a Tumblr soon too.
all right, for sure, for sure. Yeah, so I'm assuming that you are probably gonna want to upload this to your channel as well. So, you know, I just want to say that I'm technically, I'm solely spirited on everything, you know. So that's like solely spirited on everything. Like I have a YouTube channel, it's called Solely Spirited. My Facebook is Solely Spirited. Twitter is Solely Spirited. Everything is Solely Spirited. That's where you can find me. But yes, this has been us, you know, the gods that walk amongst this reality. As you say, you know, I think I just fucked up your intro, but but this has been, you know, me and the homie JAH MASHIAC, and we just created a beautiful build. We hope that this information was informative. We do hope that you guys enjoyed and you guys got you know, something from this. So thank you, and like we say, like I say, namaste, peace, beautiful soul.